きな石像、私たちのことを見てたんです。
みんな捨てて！ざけんなよ！聞いてねえぞ。
From tales about scouring dungeons and cooking delicious monster meat to becoming the next big overpowered anime character, these are the 10 best new anime for 2024, which are going to blow you away. Number 10, Dungeon Meshy.
本当に俺についてくる意志があるんだな。どんなことがあろうと。
When his entire party is wiped out and his sister Fallen is gobbled up by a dragon, Laius teams up with elven healer Marcil and ragtag locksmith Chilchuck to save Fallen before she's digested. There's one problem though, the guild is low on supplies and they've got no food to survive on. After some thought, Laius suggests the bizarre act of cooking monster meat in the dungeon to gain energy and push through its floors. Luckily, right before embarking on their culinary adventure, the guild runs into Senshi, a dwarf who happens to be a master chef in cooking monster meat. With the group all set, an epic story of creating mouth-watering monster food and navigating dungeon floors filled with traps commences. Hence the name Dungeon Meshy or Delicious in Dungeon. If you've got a thing for isekai anime that aren't cliche and are full of witty remarks and slick animation, Dungeon Meshy is a fantastic anime that you are going to love quite dearly. Number 9, 'Tis Time for Torture Princess. Next up in the top 10 best new anime for 2024 is 'Tis Time for Torture Princess, an upcoming fantasy anime that's full of jest and torture. However, it's not the torture you're thinking of. In this world, torture means teasing you with curry-flavored noodles, cute puppies, and childish rants. Yes, you heard that right. 'Tis Time for Torture Princess is an isekai that's full of gags. When the human army's commander princess is captured by the Hell Horde, different torturers take turns making her squeal. But Princess's courage proves to be strong enough to overcome the pleasures of hot baths and delicious foods. 'Tis Time for Torture Princess is the ultimate comedy anime, so be sure to check it out in January 2024. Number 8, My instant death ability is so overpowered.
私たちはバスに乗って修学旅行先に向かっていた。トンネルを抜けると、そこは明るい草原だった。
If you thought isekai anime titles were getting weirder, wait till you hear about My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Let's just call it instant death for the remainder of the video though, for obvious reasons. Yogiri Takatao is on a bus trip with his classmates when they get transported to another world and get turned into magic users by a legendary mage. But apparently, Yogiri was soundly asleep while all this was happening. When he finally opens his eyes, he's shocked to see that all of his classmates besides Tomichika have left with the mage on an adventure. Luckily for Yogiri, he isn't just an ordinary high school student. He can kill anyone he chooses with a single thought, hence the name Instant Death, or My Instant Death ability is so overpowered. No one, never mind, but since Yogiri likes sleeping too much, he rarely uses his powers. Still, being stuck in a fantasy world isn't ideal, and so begins an epic adventure of both Yogiri and Tomochika trying to find a way back home. But that's easier said than done, and instead, the duo gets tangled up in meeting countless monsters, other world natives, and events that you'll have to see to believe. Number 7, I was reincarnated as the 7th prince. Another one of the top 10 best new anime for 2024 is, wait for it, I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. A mage with ordinary abilities dies at the hand of powerful nobility. However, he's soon reincarnated as the 7th prince of the kingdom of Salome, and he also retains his memories. Now as nobility himself, Lloyd de Salome vows to become one of the strongest mages alive, and to do so, he makes sure he'll study with the strongest and at times hottest magicians in the kingdom. Granted, the cliche dozen world title couldn't be any further away from implying greatness, but I Was Reincarnated as the 7th Prince has gorgeous animation, and with every passing arc, its story will only keep getting better and better. Number 6, quality insurance in another world. While working on fixes for an unreleased video game, a bizarre twist of fate occurs, trapping Haga within the game. As much fun exploring the world proved to be, there was one major problem. The game world had a lot of bugs since it was incomplete. With there being so many glitches, Haga decides that he will fix all of them and search for a way out. Keeping that in mind, Haga meets many interesting NPCs and makes new friends along the way, and together, they make a road trip to rid the game of bugs and maybe find an exit button for the game by the end of it all. Quality assurance in another world is a unique approach to the isekai genre, and from the upcoming Best New Anime of 2024 roster, it's one to watch out for. Number 5, New Saga. Surprises keep on piling up for 2024, and this time, it looks like the hit fantasy novel New Saga is receiving the anime treatment. You might be tired of the generic fantasy and isekai anime plots, but New Saga, on the other hand, puts a fresh spin on them. After a hard-fought battle against the Demon King, legendary hero Kyle Leonard is able to save humanity, but he's also left on the brink of death. When Kyle touches an ancient relic called the Divine Dragon's Heart, it sends him back in time to a time when his family was still alive and his village wasn't destroyed by the Demon King. Since Kyle retained his memories, he decides to use the opportunity to defeat the Demon King once again, but this time, he won't make the same mistakes he did before. With Kyle almost always knowing what's going to happen, seeing characters react to his choices and the plot unfolding in different ways than it did before makes for very enthralling moments. New Saga will surely blow you away, and we couldn't be any more excited for it either. Number 4, Chain Soldier. At number 4 in the top 10 best new anime for 2024, we have Chain Soldier. Mato are gates that lead into other dimensions, and inside the Mato are resources called peaches that bestow powers upon only women. But the dimensions have monsters known as Shuki in them too, so the world forms a demon defense force composed of only peach-powered women. One day, high schooler Yuki Wakura mistakenly wanders into a Mato. Commander Kyoka Uzan arrives to protect Yuki, but in order to do so, she asks Yuki to become her slave so she can lend him powers to defeat the Shuki. The day is ultimately saved. However, there's one small catch. Whenever Kyoka turns someone into her slave, she has to fulfill her slave's deepest desires, and in Yuki's case, the desires are as perverted as they get. Chain Soldier is an anime that will make you remnants of High School DxD, and that should be more than enough of an explanation to tell you just how steamy and action-packed Chain Soldier will be. Number 3, Bartender Glass of God. Bartender Glass of God is an upcoming slice of life anime. It might not be full of action like the other anime on this list, but its chill nature and thought-provoking moments are reason enough to check it out. As for the story itself, it goes something like this. Ryu Sasakura is a prodigy at creating the perfect cocktails no matter the situation. Whether you're having a bad day, your dog died, or you got fired from work, go to Eden Hall in the Ginza district and let Ryu make you a drink that'll whisk away your worries. Bartender Glass of God is going to be a slow burn anthology drama with a few recurring characters. There's already an anime for it which was made in 2006, but with the new stunning remake set to release soon, this time the story is definitely going to hit difference. Number 2, Kaiju number 8. For anime fans who love action, Kaiju No. 8 is the one-stop shop for all your daily mayhem. It's the upcoming adaptation of Naoya Matsumoto's acclaimed manga of the same name, so there was no way it wouldn't be included in our list of the top 10 best new anime for 2024. Kaiju No. 8 takes place in a world where Godzilla-sized monsters called Kaiju exist. The Defense Corps is tasked with destroying the Kaiju, and afterwards, sweepers from the Kaiju Cleaning Corporation are assigned to pick up their remains. This is where our protagonist Kafka Hibino comes in, which is kinda overwhelming, not gonna lie. The gooey cleanup work isn't the future Kafka had hoped for himself. He wanted to join the Defense Corps and protect civilians, but he flunked the exams and had to become a sweeper instead. However, while on the job one day, a small symbiote-type Kaiju bonds with Kafka and turns him into the Kaiju Man, or, well, Kaiju No. 8, as per the Defense Corps. Things become really weird for Kafka, and since his childhood friend Mina is the captain of the Defense Corps, his life gets turned upside down. Kafka slowly comes to terms with his new nature, and hell, he's even excited. With his mind settled, Kafka joins the Defense Corps, and together with other mighty enforcers, he tries to make the world a better place. Number 1. Solo Leveling.
今日こそやってやるぞ。
You might have already guessed that Solo Leveling would take the number 1 spot for the top 10 best new anime for 2024. Fans have been eagerly waiting since 2022 for the anime adaptation, and it looks like the torment will soon be over. Solo Leveling is arguably one of the greatest fantasy manhwa of all time, and for good reason. Its story follows Sung Jinwoo, who's dubbed the world's weakest monster hunter. However, when a mysterious program called the System chooses him as its user, Jinwoo gains unimaginable power. That might not sound like the most original plot, but Solo Leveling has amazing world building and is packed with heated battles. It's probably the most anticipated anime for 2024 and has the potential to become as big as Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia.